Here we are. Hi, my friend. How are you?
Good. Happy snow day, America.
I don't know if it's everywhere, but yeah, in New York, it's coming down pretty hard.
Yeah, it was a remote learning day for New York City Public Schools, which is actually historical. We've never had that before COVID, so that was really new.
Really? Yeah, here on Long Island, just a lot of school districts canceled. But we're here to talk about our newest episode.
You mean our Valentine's Day special?
Our Valentine's Day special. We're sharing the love. So we wanted to come on because this episode, we feel, is something that every school district administrator should be watching, every teacher, every administrator, anyone who's responsible for planning ELA should really watch this. Maureen Ruby is a true expert in this area. What were your thoughts, Judy?
So that episode was kind of spicy. Back in the day when I was in the classroom for a very, very long time, for over 15 years in Brooklyn, we always had curriculum maps and curriculum documents. But all of a sudden, like everybody in literacy is using the word curriculum, like HMH or Wit and Wisdom or EL, and saying it's curriculum. But when you really think about it, and Maureen and you brought it to my attention, those are really programs. And that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it, Faith?
Well, I think the programs are based on, obviously, the content that schools should be using. And it should be about instruction. It should be about assessment. So it should include all of these components. But the program, obviously, could be different from the curriculum that's planned.
Yeah, and I think it's really important because right now, from what I'm seeing, I've even spoken to, some leaders and teachers in the field. People really are thinking that the word curriculum and program is synonymous, and it's really not. And what's ending up happening from what I see in the field is here's schools potentially being sold another story. They're buying whatever on the list thinking, poof, this is the magic potion, like abracadabra, abracazam, take all of our literacy problems away again. And they think that everything in that program,
the magic box. It's a magic box.
Part of their curriculum, but when in fact it's a resource that you have to look really carefully at.
That's right.
See, okay, I think the big word for me, I don't know, did you use it or did Maureen use it, was curriculum is like a blueprint.
She probably did, but I feel the same way. It's a tool. It's a tool. And that's what people have to keep in mind. So we're not going to go into the whole episode now because we want everybody.
Why?
Because we want everyone to listen. The point is
it's definitely a nail biter.
To listen to the podcast, listen or watch on YouTube, and we want to hear from you because this is such an important issue that we need to do some follow-up episodes as well.
Faith, can I ask you something?
No. I'm kidding. What?
Please. All right, so I know we're not going to go deep into the episode that we're counting on everybody to watch and share and retweet and share on Facebook, on YouTube, and everywhere. And thanks to all our fans that have been doing that. You are all so kind. You gave me
some really nice feedback.
Yeah.
Not just on this episode, on many. And, we keep seeing lots of the episodes pop up now all over the place, and it's very exciting. And we would hope that if anybody does take quotes out of the episode, that you do attach our podcast name.
That's true.
what we're seeing, because not everyone is doing that. And it's great that you love Tiffany's words. And I was so grateful when I saw Melanie from Canada post with
big shout out to Melanie.
And yes, it was very, very nice, but not everybody's doing that. And we want to make sure that people watch the episode, because Tiffany said so many amazing things.
She actually did. And
Marianne too. Marianne had gems as well.
Can I say something about that?
Yes.
So I went to a professional development. A lot of you have seen that I posted. Wiley Blevins did a professional development for District 9 in the South Bronx. It was incredible. It was all new material, stuff that I've never seen. And you know what I like about Wiley? He has a new book out. He didn't even mention his book. He's such a humble guy that likes to get down and dirty with the work. He went right into decodables. But what was the best part was he mentioned Marion Rice's research in his slide deck. So, he didn't just use something from 30 years ago. He's current. He's following the research, and he talked about what that means from a practical stance for classrooms near us. He even went into okay, what does that mean in terms of your Haggerty or your phonemic awareness portion of your day? So I definitely want to give a shout out to Wiley. But here goes back to Maureen, Faith. I know you didn't want me to talk about it because I don't want to give away all the.
So then don't.
No, you got it.
Then don't. So listen, we're gonna move off of this because I know Judy. She just wants to talk and say things.
Faith. One thing. Maureen said something very smart. Well, she's brilliant, so we knew she'd say something smart. She said that it takes years and years to develop a curriculum.
Well,
right?
to keep refining it, because it's always this work in progress, right?
So how are we supposed to do that now? A lot of people are implementing new programs. We can't just come up with a curriculum document and it's gonna take a lot of work, right?
It takes a lot of work, but again, let's talk about that after people watch the episodes.
We almost hit. We hit a lot of views.
What?
We hit a lot of views.
I know.
This one's big.
The point is, this is a really important episode, and Dr. Maureen Ruby, I just want to give people a little bit of background about her, because people have been asking, who is she? And the interesting thing is, people don't know Maureen's name because she's not a big presence on social media. She's not somebody who's on the circuit talking about the work. She's doing the work. And that's something that people have to remember, that just because you don't know a name out there doesn't mean that these, that it's not happening. These are unsung heroes. It's the same episode when we had researchers from Texas and people like, oh, who's Stephen Shulo? Well, there were people out there doing the work. In there doing the work, and they might not be on the circuit talking about it. Doesn't mean it's not happening. As a matter of fact, they have firsthand knowledge because they do the work. So I just want to mention Maureen. Maureen was a dentist who turned educator because of her dyslexic child. And now that dyslexic child is now an adult, and he is a doctor. So I want to give people hope out there, number one, that, with the right instruction, anything can happen. But more about Maureen. Maureen did everything. Classroom teacher, administrator, school level, district level, assistant superintendent. She was a presenter for us in Reading First 20-something years ago. She's been at this a long time.
And now what is she doing?
Second career. And now she is the head of this huge program at Sacred Heart University and in Connecticut. And she just is always up on the most important work out there. So I want people to realize that just because you might not know her name get to know her name because she is someone to watch.
You mean she's not an edu celebrity?
That's right. She's not an edu celebrity and she doesn't talk edubabble. She is the real deal. So I would recommend that everybody should watch this episode and share it.
Faith, the coolest thing is that she also included in the show notes some books that she recommends that I know that I'm going to buy to read more about the difference between what is a curriculum versus a program and what does a good quality curriculum look like. Because let's be honest, people right now are implementing new programs. It's going to be messy for a while. So if we don't get informed ASAP, we can be sold another story. Very,
right.
very, very,
and
very.
If Maureen recommended books, you better believe I'm going to be looking at that. So that's in our show notes. And you're going to be very surprised when you hear some of the things that Maureen has to say. So that's number one. Number two, if you're going to share this, make sure when you share that you are going to mention that there are other episodes that people should watch besides this one. The one that we recently had with Kate Mayer. Share it with parents. Share it with community organizations. The one with Tiffany and Marianne Knight. Share that all over. That's your research.
What about the one with Solo?
Oh, you're talking about Kata Solo. Absolutely. She is part of a curriculum project committee, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say about this because she actually takes videos from actual teachers in classrooms and shares it. So there's a lot out there. Steve Dykstra, we had Wiley, we have Razinski. And again, it's not just about, oh, you're a balanced literacy person. You're a, science of reading person. We want to hear from everybody because
everybody's invited on the Literacy View.
Everything we do on the Literacy View is nuanced because you and I do the work. So we could ask the really good questions. If you are listening to people out there and they are just talking about literacy and not in classrooms and have never taught or have taught very little, or just, they say they're curriculum mavens and experts, but yet they're empty suits. You need to look into what they've done. You need to be aware.
And also a lot of people are aligned with certain programs. So now they're representing, the best interest of possibly a program. Faith and I, who do we represent, Faith?
I don't know. We're paying for our Buzzsprout.
Yeah, we pay to do this. We pay out of our own pocket. That's how passionate we are about giving you unfiltered, unbiased,
yes,
real views and
exactly.
breaking news.
And we're unafraid.
Something.
Yes.
You look thrilled. All right. So in honor of Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow, I want you to tell me your 5 current favorite words in literacy off the top of your head. Don't even think a lot about it. Favorite.
Well, what's my favorite? So favorite, I can't even name what's my favorite.
Fidelity? Is it fidelity or no?
The F-bomb?
The F-bomb.
So I don't know, Judy. Why don't you start? You name
I'm going to start.
Go ahead.
I'm going to start. Program.
That's favorite?
Yeah. Okay. You have to understand the difference. Those words are really important to me right now. Curriculum, program,
teacher knowledge. Are those
teacher knowledge? Yes, teacher knowledge, because no matter what comes your way, you are armed and prepared to do what's right for kids. It's really serious, right? You could put anything in front of me and now I feel more confident.
because you do the work. And that's the other thing. I mean, if you are listening to people on social media and they're giving you opinions and they haven't done the work and they don't see the results with kids, I'm always, looking at what kids are doing. Always. It's
Of course you are, Faith, and we're willing to shift when we need to. When we saw, we knew for a while that, the research.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Talk up.
With the phonemic awareness thing, we knew that the research was showing us that we needed to shift. And I immediately made shifts. It wasn't hard for me anymore because you cannot get over attached to ideas. You need to become, really mindful of the research. So research is my favorite word.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess mine would be evidence more because anything could be research, right?
Well, what about a meta-analysis?
So that shows that people have looked at multiple.
And these are words that, I'm becoming more familiar with because of all the episodes that we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
This has been this whole journey with the Literacy View has been such a great learning opportunity for me. Mm-hmm. And having all these people just come on here, willing to give up their free time and learn with us and be able to, communicate in a safe space. That's beautiful. And you know what? I see you reading recovery people. I see you online. And I was that woman, right? That doesn't mean everything that you did in the past was wrong, but I see you guys watching us and we support you. And we would love to have many of you on here to talk about your journeys.
And we will. We will. I know we spoke to Catherine Cook and we know that.
She's online now. Catherine, if you
Maureen's on. Your ears must be burning, Maureen.
Catherine, can you put in the chat maybe 2 words that are your favorite in literacy right now for Valentine's Day? We're waiting for you in the chat.
Anyhow, we just think this episode is so important. And I'm so glad Maureen is on. Maureen, I love you. And I think that it's just probably one of the most important episodes for districts to listen to or watch. So we hope you do that. Today's a good day. It's a snow day.
And start asking your districts to look at those curriculum documents. And then if they don't have those, if they don't have a mapped out curriculum, ask why.
Yeah. And I think that this.
Oh, wait. Catherine just gave a word. She gave 2. Do you want to guess?
I can't guess, Judy. What is
Why
it?
not? Have fun. It's almost Valentine's Day and it's a snow day. She has a couple. She gave us explicit instruction and scope and sequence. She's loving it.
Okay, good. So we plan on having people come on from balanced literacy circles.
Anywhere.
Hear from everyone because
would you allow a centrist on the show? Would you allow centrists too?
Not if they call themselves centrists. They're going to be booted off. They will get the BS. They call themselves a centrist.
I can't take it.
Okay. That doesn't mean that we don't want to hear from people who've done the work and have something to offer, and they're growing and looking at science to help them figure things out. So we want to hear from those people, and we want to hear from people who want to share their expertise and their experiences, but we want people who actually have true experience in the field and doing the work now. So we hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day tomorrow. Please like, share, show us you care, and we want to hear from you.
Yeah, sharing is caring. Please share the love, and let's keep doing this work together, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Happy Valentine's. Wow, Faith. That was hysterical. I loved it. She did? No. Aww, she's so cute. Aww. That's, oh my God, I look like a Faith. Why do I? Not for nothing. Why do I still see me on the screen by myself with my phone? I think